and Stephen has popped in to see me tonight. Stephen, how's it going? You're very welcome indeed to the studio.
Thank you very much, Tommy. It's brilliant to be here this evening. Thanks very much for having me up here.
We have a little bit of feedback there. I don't know what it is, but anyways, I met you the last night I met you were just after coming out of Jack Show down in the Clonree.
That's right. A couple of weeks ago, I had a night off that night, and we went in to see Jack and his new band. Absolutely brilliant night, and sounding brilliant.
I've been trying to get you up a few nights, but you were doing social dancing there on Wednesday nights.
We were doing that. That was last year. I was doing used to do the social dance in Ardra. It went very well, so it did. But kind of decided to stop it there at the end of last year because I'm kind of getting really busy myself with my own gigs. So I'm just focusing on that now at the moment, So.
Come here, tell me, when did you start? I think, was it around 2016 you started up over here in Ardra?
I started singing, around 2016, alright, kind of performing. That's when I probably started gigging first. And when I started out initially, it was more kind of pop, folk sort of music. And as time went on, then I just kind of went more country, and I suppose now since 2022, that's what I've been doing, is the more of the country music. Although I'm still writing away in different genres, whatever comes out of my head at any given time. But yeah, country's it's definitely my main focus at the moment for sure, So.
And come here, was music in the family? Did your dad do music? Or?
Yeah, well, I suppose my first memory of music is my father as a child, because when I was about 4 or 5, he took out a CD for Donegal Hospice, and he had an album launch and whatnot. And my he's a great voice, a great singer in the chapel. He would have done a lot of funerals and weddings and things like that back in the day. He doesn't do as much now, but so I suppose he was probably the first influence, I would say, definitely for sure. So.
And what singers would have been influential on you, whether country or pop?
I suppose American country, the likes of Don Williams and Merle Haggard and those sort of singers.
The old traditionalists.
The traditionals, yeah. I would be more into the traditional country. Now these days, I'm listening to a lot of Zach Top, and there's some great traditional country singers now. You play them in your show every night, and there's definitely a lot of great ones at the current moment, and of course we listen to a lot of Irish country. I would look up a lot to Derek Ryan, what a songwriter, and I suppose being a songwriter myself, I'd be very very impressed with his songwriting skills, definitely.
And when did you realise you had the gift for doing the songwriting? Because it's not an easy thing, to do songwriting,
No, well, I suppose the first time I wrote, you could say, a bit of a song was when Donegal was in the All-Ireland in 2012. I was only 12 at the time, but I decided to write a song for the team, and I put it to the melody of the hills of Donegal.
Yeah.
But I suppose for a 12-year-old listening back to the song, I still can't believe that I put that song together at that time, And from there then, I suppose when I was about 14, I started really getting into the guitar and writing wee melodies and whatnot. And I heard that Louis Walsh was coming to do a talent competition in Glenties back in 2017.
I remember that.
Yeah, so there was lots of heats, and the heats went on for, I don't know, it was probably about 4 weeks or so, and then it got to the final, and they selected, I don't know, I think there was 17 or 18 contestants in the final, and I got runner-up in that time with my own original song. So I suppose that was probably the start of me taking music seriously and thinking to myself, that's the route I want to go down and the career I want to take, so that, I suppose that gave me a lot of confidence, so it did, yeah.
Did you ever, what did you do during the COVID? Did you ever do live streaming, do the Facebook Live thing over that time?
No, I'll tell you, during COVID, it was the one time I just didn't really, when you didn't know when your next gig was, a lot of people took to live streaming and whatnot, but I don't know what it was. I just didn't have the incentive at the time to do it. I suppose when you just didn't know when it was all going to end and whatnot. So got back at it then after the COVID. I was gigging from 2017 to 2020. I was gigging, probably 3 gigs a week in bars, acoustic, doing anything from like my own original songs, the Oasis, and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
there wasn't that much country in the set list at all, to be honest with you. But things changed after COVID, and I got back into the country again, because country was my roots. As a child, it was country music I listened to, and I suppose at that time in school, country music wouldn't have been popular. I would have been
No.
one of very few of the kids in school that was into it, So, but yeah, after COVID, got really into it again. Started writing some country songs and whatnot, and I've been now doing the social dances for about 2 years now. So, and building it up, and things are going great so far. So, just long may it continue.
Come here, we'll talk about the social dancing in a few
Yeah,
minutes, but
for
you have
sure.
young Mr. Currigan there, which
We
and
do.
we might get you to sing an old song live,
We'll do a
because
wee
there's no
song.
use bringing him up if he's not going to do anything.
100%. We'd have to put him through his paces now when he is here.
So tell us what you're going to do
We'll
first.
do an old classic called the Blue Ridge Mountain Girl.
Good old song it is too.
It's so cold here in Chicago. The wind can cut you like a knife. Another dime and another dollar. What a way to spend your life. Well, I was young and I was restless, and I set out. So when the world said goodbye to my Virginia and my Blue Ridge Mountain girl, I can see her standing by the window. Well, there's nothing sadder in the world than those green eyes, all red from crying, of my Blue Ridge Mountain girl. Hey. In my hand, I hold a letter that says you'll make a pretty bride. And as I lay here in the darkness, she lays by another side. I've got money in my pocket, silver rings, it's what I wear, but I trade it all this minute for the gold that's in her hair. I can see her standing by the window. There's nothing sadder in the world than those green eyes, all red from crying, of my Blue Ridge Mountain girl. I can see her standing by the window. Well, there's nothing sadder in the world than those green eyes, all red from crying, of my Blue Ridge Mountain girl. Than those green eyes, all red from crying, of my Blue Ridge Mountain girl.
Great stuff indeed. Great stuff, Stephen. Good old classic. I know the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band did that one, and it was done by lots of other people. And we were mentioning about the social dance, and I know you were doing it on a Wednesday night in the GAA Hall up in Ardram. And have you ever done the Milroy Woods down there with Paddy Bradley on a Thursday night?
No, I haven't done that one with Paddy yet. I hopefully would be in there soon for sure. Great dance on a Thursday night down in Milford, and gets a great turnout, young and old, like. So no, definitely. Hopefully, it's one I'll be in soon.
It's very popular, especially since the COVID finished. you know, a lot of the venues now, they're on earlier. Like if there is a band like down in the Clonreen on Sunday night, it's usually 9 to 11. Whereas, you know, beforehand bands would only come on at around 11 or 12.
Exactly, yeah.
And the early nights seems to be good. I'd say a lot of musicians. I see your backing band here. You couldn't beat the Currigans, boy.
You couldn't
There's
say you couldn't beat
every
them.
one of them. Sean, put up that microphone to yourself. We'll be having an old chat with you, if you can get near it at all. But come around to me, Sean. You're a busy man too.
I kept going, Tommy.
I better put up your microphone. You sound better.
You're grand.
I'm just saying, I was getting mixed up. I thought it was Brian coming up tonight. Brian is down with Mick Flavin tomorrow night down in the Mulroy Woods.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Pull up that microphone a little bit closer to you. So, although somebody might say we prefer to hear you playing rather than talk. How long have you been at it, Sean?
40 years.
Your family are at
40 years,
your brothers. How many of your brothers used to do it?
Well, there's myself and as you know, there's myself and Brian.
Yeah,
And we lost her.
I know you lost.
Her eldest
Yeah,
brother last year. She's due as well. Like
yeah, that's right. I was over there at the.
And
Yeah.
played music as well. Like.
And a great. Each one of you are as good as the other, you know, because you was just saying to me when you came in. When was the last time we met?
At a wedding. You were actually on after us.
Oh,
You were doing okay for us. We're going to play some ABBA now.
and that's great. And, are you busy? I say you're
I'm
kept.
busy, yeah, I'm busy enough, Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm
But,
out on my own now too. Like.
You're out on your own. This is a good man to do the backing for you. You're lucky to have somebody like that.
Oh, without a doubt. Hey, if anybody ever needs a man to back them, like Sean Kerrigan or Brian, or you know, they're brilliant. The
Yeah.
Kerrigans are a very talented family. Like.
Have you done any videos for any of your songs? You know,
I
like
have.
it seems to be very popular now. You know, since the Phil Mac and the Teeny G came in, a
That's
lot
right.
of the people are making videos now as well. You know, that can see them.
Exactly, no, definitely. It's a big help, like, and you know, with Facebook and social media these days, like, it's great for, you know, people sharing the videos and whatnot. It gets it out that bit further, like, so no, it definitely is a thing I use for most of the singles I take out, like, you know, for sure.
Just want to mention for anybody who's listening in to us on this evening, if you'd like to see him live in full Technicolor, we're on Facebook page as well. And Nigel Wallace just messaged in on Facebook saying, wishing you all the best, Stephen, as did Rita Gamble. Rita said, fantastic, Stephen, you look great in Technicolor as well.
That's good to hear.
And
Thank
she
you
said,
very much.
she said, Sean doesn't look too bad either with the old t-shirt. At least he's wearing a clean t-shirt tonight.
Nigel Wallace is a great supporter and somebody that's backed me from the start, you know, and a great man and great fan of country music and dancing as well. So shout out to Nigel and Jane there.
Yeah, isn't it funny too, you know, over the years, in the last couple of years, especially since the COVID, social media has taken a big step in the music business. Not only that, but like ourselves here on the station, you know, before the COVID and that, we'd never been doing Facebook Live. Greg now does the 9 to noon show, and you can watch them all over the world on the different websites. Or like Nod Night here, if I have an interview, I can, as well as doing you on the radio, people can actually watch.
Exactly, it's great. Like,
And you can watch back yourself then afterwards.
you couldn't beat it. Huh?
Yeah, come here. I heard you singing a Zach Top song earlier on.
Yeah, we're doing Zach Top's very popular at the moment. It's one
Yeah,
I've
isn't he?
kind of incorporated into my gigs.
He's a young fella. He's from just outside Washington State.
Aye, as far as I know, aye, yeah, he's a really good singer and some really good songs. So this is one called "I Never Lie."
I wouldn't believe that now for a minute.
No, I don't know about that either. Well, it's been some time. You still look like an angel. I heard you're doing fine. Got promoted back in April, and you met someone. Your dad says he's okay. Well, I've never been better. Things are going my way. I sleep like a baby, and every show I played for work. I don't drink whiskey. I don't know Wish I could say I miss you, but you know I never lie. Well, I met somebody too. She's a model out in LA. She's been begging me to move. She says Malibu is really great. I ain't decided if I'm going or not, but at the end of the day, I sleep like a baby. And every show I played for work, I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hurt. Whoa, and I ain't been lonely since you said goodbye. Wish I could say I miss you, but you know I never lie. Well, I've never been better. Things are going my way. I sleep like a baby. And every show I played for work, I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hurt. Whoa, and I ain't been lonely since you said goodbye. Wish I could say I miss you, but you know I never lie.
Great stuff indeed. Hard to beat a bit of Zach Top. And a few people just messaged in while we were singing that. Ger Long said, "Good man, Stephen, you're sounding great." And another Stephen, your dad, rang in and he said, "Sounding great," and comes from your mum and dad, and said, "I sound good as well." I didn't even sing a song yet. Also, Fiona Cumley said, "Sounding great, Stephen. Hannah and Rachel are down in Galway. Looking forward to seeing you." And Sean Currigan, you're going to be down there as well on Sunday. Is that right? Get out of it.
That's the Javen sisters, them two wee girls.
Oh,
they're
yes.
12 and 15. They're brilliant dancers. Unbelievable, top class.
Yeah, that's great. And somebody else texted in there, Laura Lou.
Yes, Laura, good friend.
Relying on Ger Long class, Stephen, you're sounding great. And it's funny, you know, I just mentioned your dad there a minute ago. When I was telling my wife you were coming on with me tonight, the last time we met you, yourself and your dad was at Sandy Kelly's show down in on Greenan.
Aye, that's right.
And
yeah.
I think I didn't know if it was you or your dad. You tell me it was your dad. Said to Margot, she said, "What does it feel like to be married to a superstar?" And Margot said back to your dad, "You better ask Tommy that."
She was quite there, hey.
That took me down a step or two. So come here. Are you out gigging much now during the weekends?
Aye, doing a lot, Tommy. Had a really busy weekend there. I was down in Castleblaney there last Friday night.
Oh yeah, down in the
in Waters.
yeah,
in
Scott
Old
Southworth
Gym.
was up there on the Easter Monday
Aye,
night.
I heard
Monday
that,
night, yeah.
Brilliant. So I was there, great spot up there. And it was in Ardmore Saturday. Sunday I was in Carlow. A great night in Carlow. In the Ardatin Inn. It's a big crowd down there now on Sunday night. So yeah, down the southeast of the country at the moment.
How did they hear about you down there?
I just, I suppose, social media and whatnot, you
Yeah,
know, and
it's hard to beat.
I must say now it went very well. So back down there again now next month. So looking forward to that as well. But
That's just yourself, is it?
that's
and your
just
guitar?
myself, yeah. So this weekend now, I'm taking this weekend off because of my cousin's getting married. So
Who?
it's gonna be
What's
Noel McCabe and Edel Finney getting married on Saturday. So we're
excellent?
the big celebrations at the weekend. So taking this weekend off and back at it then again next week in the Clonree Friday night.
Oh, you're down there Friday night.
On Friday night in the bar, and
Yeah.
then Saturday night I'm in Armore. The Sunday I am in the Allingham supporting Jack Keogh. And then Sunday I'm up in Watersall coaching again in Castleblaney for the big hoolie up there on the Monday night, first Monday of every month. So
Come here, hang on now, don't go away. I have to take the news at 10, but stay with me and we'll get another song or two out of you, okay?
Not a bother, Tommy.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
It's 10 o'clock. A very good night from the newsroom. Donald Trump has attacked Ukraine's leader in a lengthy social media post accusing him of prolonging a killing field and making inflammatory statements. Vladimir Zelensky refused to legally recognise the occupation of Crimea. The US Vice President J.D. Vance thinks there needs to be concessions and has threatened to pull America out of the talks. Kyiv advisor Yuri Sak says it's not something Ukraine is remotely considering.
Today, 9 people were killed on a civilian bus and 30 plus injured, and that's happening every day. So it is not possible to think of some meaningful negotiations in good faith when you're being killed on a daily basis.
Concerns are being raised over the impact reported job cuts at Intel could have on Irish workers. Intel's Leixlip branch is one of the largest employers outside of Dublin, with a workforce of nearly 5,000 people. Jessica Woodlock has this report.
Shock, confusion and question marks surround today's report from Bloomberg News that Intel will be cutting 1/5 of its global workforce. For Ireland, the question is how this will impact the nearly 5,000 workers who operate here in Leixlip.
It's really when you don't know, there's that anxiety of not knowing, and that's what I would think of.
It's going to have a huge impact here and in Maynooth.
It's absolutely devastating for the locality.
Enterprise Minister Peter Burke is in talks with the company and says Ireland is a valuable asset to Intel, and news of job cuts doesn't change that fact. Local councillor Bernard Caldwell says the company is a staple of the Leixlip community.
Since Intel have come here, they've only improved the facility, the town, the community, everything associated with it, and we're delighted that Intel is here in Leixlip, and long may they live.
Local councillors will meet with Intel next week, but it's hoped the speculation over redundancies will be put to bed before then. Jessica Woodlock, Leixlip, County Kildare.
The Vatican is considering extending the hours for mourners to visit Pope Francis's open coffin at St. Peter's Basilica. The weather is expected to turn quite stormy. His simple wooden coffin has been positioned low to the ground at his request. He's lying in state for 3 days ahead of his funeral on Saturday. Archbishop Arthur Roach from the UK said it was quite special to be there when the Pope was brought from his home to the Basilica this morning.
Very moving event, taking him from where he was at home in Santa Marta, which is basically a hotel. And there he occupied just 3 little rooms, a small office, a small waiting room beyond the office and a bedroom.
Extending the Help to Buy scheme could push house prices up even further. Briefing notes for the Finance Minister have been seen by the Daily Mail. The measure is in programme for government, but the opposition said it could turbocharge house price inflation. Lorcan Sir, senior housing lecturer at TU Dublin, said there's a risk of a vicious cycle because not just sellers will get higher prices.
Sure, and then the house that they go to purchase in turn, because they're not going to live nowhere unless they're emigrating to Spain or whatever, the house that they go to purchase in turn is also going to be commensurately more expensive. So this stuff doesn't just happen when you're selling a house, it also happens when you go to look for the house as well as you move from your second-hand home into another home.
The retrial of Harvey Weinstein has begun in New York, with the prosecutor telling the court the former Hollywood mogul used dream opportunities as weapons to prey on 3 women, accusing him of sexual abuse. The case has been retried 5 years after the landmark #MeToo case against the 73-year-old producer, who was once one of the industry's most powerful figures. After the appeals court last year overturned his conviction, he has strenuously denied the allegations of rape and oral rape. Following a lengthy jury selection process due to the high-profile nature of the retrial, the prosecution has now opened its case at the same courthouse in Manhattan. And that's your news at 4 minutes past 10. Turning our attention to sport, FAI CEO David Corral has confirmed that they've begun their search for a new permanent chief football officer. Mark Canham announced yesterday that he would be leaving the role after nearly 3 years. Carrell is confident that a number of strong candidates will apply for the position. It's Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 2 late on in their Premier League encounter at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners needed to avoid defeat tonight to deny Liverpool being crowned champions with 5 games to spare. In snooker, Ronnie O'Sullivan secured safe passage to the second round of the World Snooker Championships. The 7-time champion made light work of Ali Carter in the afternoon session, claiming 5 unanswered frames in the 10-4 win at the Crucible. This evening, 2019 champion Judd Trump was a 10-4 winner over Yulong Zhuv, while 4-time winner Mark Selby is currently 3 down to qualifier Ben Woolison. In rugby, Niamh O'Dowd is in line to return for Ireland's final Six Nations game against Scotland on Sunday. The loosehead prop missed last week's 40-14 win over Wales after picking up a shoulder injury in round 3 defeat to England. Scum coach Dennis Fogarty issued an injury update today. He confirmed that Bevan Parsons is unavailable for the trip to Edinburgh. The winger is still recovering from a broken fibula. In the Ryder Cup, legend Jose Maria Albalza has been named as one of Luke Donald's vice-captains for September's contest at Bethpage Black. The Spaniard led Europe to victory over the US in 2012, the last time they won on American soil. He'll rejoin the likes of Thomas Bjorn and Edward Molinari, who are also alongside Ola Zapek in the backroom for Europe's win in Rome in 2023. That's your news and sport at 6 minutes past 10.
Stay tuned for the next 4 hours to The Country Boy for great country music.
Beginning of a love so pure and true. Her daddy wasn't keen on her boy Joey, as he hadn't any riches to his name. But Nancy's love for Joey was unbroken, and they planned to sneak on board a southbound train. He said, "Come meet me tonight by the river. Tonight before the dawn, and we can build a life together. As long as we have love, we can't go wrong."
Knows. That's my in-guest studio tonight. Track from one of his albums, one of his own songs called, what's it called, Stephen?
That's a song I wrote a couple of years ago called Meet Me Tonight.
Meet Me Tonight, a good
yeah,
old
it's
song.
doing very well. It's getting a lot of streams on Spotify and that, like, you know, so it's, no, it's done very well for me, thank God. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you suppose when you take out a new single, you never know what way it's going to go, like, you know, but working on a lot of original songs at the moment. Have a good few in the studio at the moment, so we're really looking forward now to getting them out there and get people to hear them, you know.
And I must ask you too, I didn't ask you already, but where did you record this stuff? Was it up at Brian?
I recorded that with Brian Shirley. I've recorded a good few songs with Brian. Top studio up there.
Great studio,
guy
yeah, I
as
was up there a
like,
few times, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've recorded a few there with Wayne Rose as well, down in Roscommon. Another great man, like, so I'm fair to say there's some great producers in the country scene at the moment, like.
Yeah, Wayne is actually, he's looking after Jack Keogh, isn't he?
After Jack, yeah, and they're flying.
I've seen him down once or twice at the social dancing in the Murray Woods, just himself and Jack. And I think Jack has a band now in all time, has he?
He's moving into a full-time band now, so they're doing really well, like, and it's great to see a young man at 20 years of age, like, being able to front his own band, like.
And come here, when we talk about Wayne looking after Jack,
yes.
It's good to have managers. I believe a Sligo man looks after you a bit as well, doesn't he?
Jerry Lavin, Sligo man, surely, and Jerry's he's just took me on there.
What part of Sligo is Jerry from?
He's a Clooney man.
Yeah, no, because there was a girl I knew very well, and she went with a lad called Lavin to Shauna McStravick. She used to go with a lad. Oh, is that him?
That's him.
Oh, small world.
That's him. That's Jerry.
Yeah.
So, no, Jerry. So
he'd know about Jerry'd know about the music.
He knows
as well.
the music scene, surely. So he's doing a great job so far, you know. So get on very well, like, and no, he's doing a great job so far, and the bookings are coming in. So that's the main one.
And do you play the Beehive? Have you been in the Beehive with Pat over there at all?
I haven't done much in the Beehive, actually. You know what? I'm on the road everywhere, and I don't play much with Ardra at all. Do the odd night in the summer in the Corner House for Stephen McCahill and that sort of thing. Corner House, another great spot for the music, but between the Beehive and the Corner House, like, you know, it's a great wee town for music, like.
Yeah, I know Stephen used to come up a lot here to Packy Keeney when Packy was on here. It's a great little town for festivals, you know. They have the Cup of Tea Festival. I know who do you call her? He's over there in odd time. Joni Madden and Cherish the Ladies, and
like Stephen McCahill has done so much work for our
he is
years, like, and of course Pat as well. This last few years has chipped in a hell of a lot with the festivals as well. But no, it's two great men, like this. They've done a lot for the town, like, and putting on festivals all the time. So it's great, and it gets a lot of footfall to the town, you know. So it's very positive for our draw, like, you know. So.
Yeah, up at the back of the bar in Pat's place, it's a lovely kind of a listening room rather than, you know, there's no bar. Yeah, you can get your drink downstairs, but when you go up, it's for a listening room. And I suppose he wouldn't do the social dance, and it'd be more or less for. He has a lot of bluegrass bands coming there, or ordinary acoustic single boys.
Some top class acts as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
On a regular basis.
There's a big lineup coming up in May now. He's a guy called Tom Jutz coming over. He produced. He played and produced Nancy Griffith.
Okay, brilliant.
He's coming over.
Top quality.
He's coming over.
No, definitely Pat gets in the best of the best, like, you
Yeah.
know. So as I say, a lovely wee venue for sit down concerts, like you couldn't beat it.
There's another message in here from you, Caroline Breslin.
Yes,
Sounded great,
Auntie
Stephen.
Caroline.
Play request for Noel and Edel, who are getting married. Oh, he mentioned them. You've heard the wedding anyway.
For the wedding, no, couldn't miss it.
Must give them an old mention on Friday night now as well.
Absolutely, aye. So no, it's going to be in the Blue Haven. The receptions, or the mass in Ardra, and then the receptions in the Blue Haven. So it'll be a great day now.
We've got a long old days weddings, aren't they? They're long, they're a good crack, you know. I remember my daughter got married. It'll be 7 years this June now, and she got married the weekend of the rally.
Are you serious?
Oh, such a job trying to get into the church. That's in
that.
The 4-lane. Come here, we're going to get you to give us one more song before I let you go, because I know you have to go over that road to Ardra. What way do you go? Do you go down through Donegal and over, or do you come over through Finton?
I go Mineral and town, you know, so that I bet 45 minutes will take me.
I used to like going that road. I like going that road during the daytime, but not at night time. I'm always wary of deers.
Deer is the one. You have to go slow on that road big time, like on the way it is. It's
Oh, God, I hate
down there is terrible for the ear. Like,
yeah,
I'm on that road a lot at night, like, and nearly every night I'm on it, there's something jumping out in front of me, like, you know.
Yeah, I was coming back from Gweedore one night through Creeshla, and just as I was coming down, you know the little bridge just before at the bottom of the hill of Creeshla.
Yes, yeah,
I was just coming down there, and the next thing I seen this boy looking in the window at me. There, this was a good few years back. I was coming back from a gig, and he cracked me windscreen mirror and the whole side door of the car, and I got out, and I was shaking for a while, and I had to drive home looking out the side window, and I got the fright of my life. And there was a lad used to work in the garage across here, and Margot told him about it, and he sent me a postcard, and in the postcard there was a picture of two deer sitting up in Phoenix Park, and one of them was sitting down and the other one was standing up, and he had little words coming out of the deer's mouth. Says, "Son, don't go out the road tonight, Tommy Rosney." It's funny when you thought of it afterwards, but it wasn't funny.
Not that I could shake you like that.
Well, shake you, surely to God.
Well, I just want to mention a couple of people there before. Margaret and Declan, great supporters, my aunt and uncle down there in Creeshla. I know Margaret listens into your show on a
That's
regular.
where she is. I met her actually. I didn't know who she was for a long time, but I met her at a wedding. My daughter was at a friend of hers' wedding, and I think Margaret might have been an aunt or related to the girl who got married. And she said,
very good.
"I always listen to you play a Stephen Bennett." And I said, "Now that'll cost you $5 anytime you want to." But no, Margaret, she rings in here regularly. Put on an old Stephen Bennett show.
No, I know, she's a great supporter there.
She could be promoting, never mind supporting.
So, yeah, and you know what? I'll not start mentioning people now because I'll only forget people. But I know Margaret's always listening into the show. So
yeah.
So yeah, will we give a
what are we going to do?
We'll do a wee John Prine number this time.
Hard to beat John Prine.
Hard to beat John Prine. I was very lucky to see John Prine back in 2020. Probably only about a month or 5 weeks before he passed away. He was doing a wee tour, and I think he done the Irish tour, and I think he was to do the UK, but I think the health went down then. But we got to see him in a kind of intimate setting in Ardra. There was about, I'd say, about 35 or 40 people there, and it was a great night. And he played this song that night. But of course, his wife Fiona's from Ardra, and my mother actually used to babysit Fiona as when she was young. So that's my wee claim to fame with John Prine. So I always loved this song here.
Would you believe it? I had the pleasure of interviewing him once. He was over in He was over in Jackson's in Ballybuffet. Oh, I can't remember how many years ago. And I got the pleasure of doing a wee interview with him, and found him to be a lovely man.
Lovely man, gentleman,
lovely man.
Down to earth man for sure. So it's I think people sometimes are shocked when they hear of the Ardra connection. So.
Right, come here. I'm going to let you go. And Sean, thanks for coming up and doing a great job here back in this, man.
Thank you, Sean. Great.
So you take off with John Prine, and then we'll let you.
Absolutely.
We'll chase you. We'll chase you. We'll chase you.
You come home late and you come home early. You come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. So what in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. Well, I get a heart that burns fever, and I got a worried and a jealous smile. How can a love that lasts forever get left so far behind? So what in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow that's crossed the evil line today. How can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't got one word to say? So what in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. So what in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. Thanks very much, Tommy, for having me on this evening. Thanks, it's been great to be